Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So in today's tutorial we are going to be turning this basic bodice pattern into a princess that bustier. So this pattern was drafted in our last video. You can check my channel to watch the full tutorial. So I'll come down from my shoulder line and mark my under bust, which is this short line right here. So I'm going to make a armhole princess that bustier. So if you want to make a shoulder that bustier, just divide your shoulder slope by 2 and then connect it to that bust point there. But since I'll be making an armhole princess that bustier, I'll come down from the armhole curve by 4.5 inches or so, and then I'll place my curve rule like so and connect it down to my bust point, as you can see in the video. So when that is done, I'm going to go to my under bust and I'll mark a quarter of my under bust right there, and then the excess that I have, the excess that is here, I'm going to measure and see what I have here, and then whatever I have I'm going to divide it by 2, and then I'll use that to contour my under bust. I'll put half of that measurement on one side and then the remaining half on the other side of the dart leg, as you can see in the video. So in my case I had 1.5, so I'm going to use 0.75 on both sides. Then I'll connect it with a straight line down to the waistline, and then I'll use my curve rule and connect it to the bust point, as you can see in the video. If you're coming across my channel for the first time, you're highly welcome. Kindly hit the subscribe button. Let us grow together. Like my video, share my video to your friends. Someone out there might be interested in this kind of content. Thank you so much. So on your armhole dart line, go up by ½ inch and downwards by ½ inch and connect it to the bust point for your armhole contour, and replace that 1 inch at the side like so, as you can see me do in the video. Also, don't forget to extend your line by 1 inch. You know, I used ½ inch on both sides of this princess dart line, so I am going to replace that 1 inch. You know, ½ inch up, ½ inch down is 1 inch. I am going to replace that 1 inch at the armhole area, so that I will not run short of fabric when I join my princess dart. And ensure you extend this line by 1 inch so that you not have shortage of fabric. And then the one that is added at the armhole is to prevent shortage of measurement, so that it won't be too tight when you join it. So I'm now going to connect it. So connect your armhole curve to that 1 inch there, and before connecting it to your waistline, fold in your bust dart. And to do that, I'm going to cut this fabric. Sorry, I'm going to cut my paper in 2 so as to enable me folding my bust dart. So when that is done, I'll now slash open my bust dart, 1 line on the bust dart, so I'll be able to close it. But before then, I'm going to determine the neckline I'll be using. So I'll be working with a deep plunging neckline. So I'll measure 7.5 inches downwards from my shoulder line. So to avoid exposing your cleavage, you can measure from your shoulder line 6 inches downwards. 6 inches is your upper bust line. So if you measure 6 inches downwards, your cleavage will not be too exposed. So this is what I actually went for. So pattern drafting, you can always play your way around the paper to, you know, behold your final result before cutting it on your fabric. That is the beauty of pattern drafting. So my neck depth falls on my bust line. It is below the chest line. So automatically this is my yoke, which I'll be cutting on a mesh fabric. I'm going to go down from my waistline by 5.5 inches including seam allowance. 5.5 inches including seam allowance, because I want to have a kind of curve, not actually a V effect, a basque waistline at the front there, and then I'll come down by 2.5 inches at the side and connect it to the front. I'll be making this into a gown, so I need the box effect. I'll connect it to the center front like so. So label your pattern side front and center front. So I'm going to slash open the armhole dart so as to enable me close the bust dart. So when that is done, I'll slash open the bust dart as well, and then I'll close it up. So I'm going to use a masking tape to hold it in place. So the space in between the armhole now is the dart that has been transferred from the bust. I'll close my bust dart like so, and then I'll cut off my pattern. Don't forget to connect your 1 inch extension at the armhole to your waistline. So I'm adding my seam allowance at this point before cutting it out. You can choose to add your seam allowance when you're cutting it on your fabric, but since I had extra paper here, I decided to add my seam allowance at once. So my seam allowance is 1.5 inches, but I later trimmed it down to 1 inch because I'll be turning it, I'll be doing an inseam finishing. So I didn't want any bulkiness inside. So don't forget to add your shoulder seam allowance for joining your shoulder. As you can see, our front bustier is ready. Now moving to the back, I'm going to also alter the back basic bodice pattern. So if you want to do lacing, you may not need to come in by half an inch at the waistline for zipper bulge. But if you're using zipper, you maintain your basic bodice. What we're going to do is to determine the style of yoke you want. You can choose a V or an open back. For me, I'm going to do this style right here. So alter the yoke to your own preference. When that is done, contour your yoke so that it will not gape. At that point, go up by 1/4 inch, connect it like so. When you're done doing that, you can then cut off your pattern. That's basically all for the back. But don't forget to go down by 2.5 inches at the waist at the side of the waist so as to align with that of the front. So when that is done, connect and cut out your pattern. So for this, I'm going to use a zipper. I'm not using eyelet. And if you're using a zipper, don't forget to add your zipper allowance. Remember, we did not add zipper allowance for this pattern. Then cut off your pattern like so. Don't forget to add your shoulder allowance for joining. So if you have watched to this point, I want to take this moment to appreciate you. You've done so well. Thank you so much for sticking around. Kindly subscribe to my channel, like this video, share it to your friends and family. Thank you so much, guys. So cut off your pattern like so. It is very important to contour your yoke at this part, because if you don't do that, it will gape. It will not lap. So label your pattern to avoid mistake. Indicate where your buttons is gonna stay. Also indicate where it's up and down. Indicate your side back and your center back to avoid mistake. Subscribe to my channel. I'll be posting the sewing tutorial very soon. So if you want to see what I made this into, kindly subscribe to my channel. Thank you so much for watching. Bye guys.